Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to Rocktober, where we kicked off the series with the previous video, that being, of course, listening to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, an album that I thoroughly enjoyed and have listened to probably about 4 more times since that initial listen. And keep in mind, I listened to that literally yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, actually. So I've been playing that album on repeat, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my first time ever, and carrying on with listening to some legendary albums that I've never checked out yet, even though, again, huge rock fan, listen to thousands of albums, but some do manage to escape me. And one of those, the second one in this Rocktober series, being Red by King Crimson. Now, this is a fairly short record. It's about 39 minutes in length. It's actually more closer to 40 minutes. Right here you can see, just 3 seconds shy. And I wonder if it'll stick to that theory that I have, that 39-minute records tend to be some of the greatest records of all time. I don't know what it is, but I can probably list out a good 10 or so 39-minute records that are pretty much near perfect. But that'd be for another video. Instead, today, we are going to react, for the first time ever, to Red by King Crimson. There's 5 tracks here, some of them quite lengthy, and I don't know what to expect. I am a fan of their debut, In the Court of the Crimson King, a must-listen-to prog-rock album, and one of the best albums of the 60s. But even though I do really enjoy that record, and I think it is extremely influential and a must-listen, I do think it has some minor flaws. You know, Moonchild could be shorter. I think most people can agree. However, with Red, I'm not sure what to expect. I actually thought it was going to be a softer album. I thought the album cover seemed like it was going to have a gentler approach, but upon reading, apparently this is a pretty heavy album, so I don't really know what I'm expecting at all. But that makes this all the more fun, because I have no idea what I'm getting into. Let's get in to the first track here. The title track, Red. Okay. Kicking it off hard. A much rougher sound right off the bat. It's got kind of like a evil melodic tone to it, especially the very rough production. I've seen this labeled as like early metal. I could see it. I could definitely see this taking some of that kind of sludgy, kind of lo-fi metal-esque tone, kind of Black Sabbath induced, I would say, into its sound here. Seems like this is an instrumental only, but it's really open up with an intensity. Sets the stage. Oh my god. Our drummer on this one, if I'm not mistaken, is Bill Bruford. Would seem so. Love how much he's just smashing those drums. An uncredited cello? Really adding to the sinister kind of track so far. Feels so evil. That guitar, like a beeping, adding an urgency. Oh. So much tension being released. Oh. Bruford's playing is so almost like metallic. Oh my goodness. Oh. I love this guitar just soaring above everything else. That's Fripp, I would assume. Oh. Climactic ending there. Kind of like a finale. Incredibly dark, sinister tone to that opening track. Did not expect such an evil sound to come out of King Crimson, which usually feels more, like a sense of majesticness to their tunes. Red kicked it off strong with a really just tortured instrumental. Let's go into Fallen Angel. It's already continuing with a more like the string work even feels like a horror movie or something. That's the cello. Oh. Ooh, like a sense of relief. John Wetton being our singer. Track about brotherhood. Very gentle. I love where this is going. I like that. Is that the oboe in the background there? The higher pitch. Maybe a track about death. Maybe the death of a brother, it would seem. Oh, those horns coming in. Oh. I don't know why, but it's reminding me of In the Airplane Over the Sea, the way that horn is being played. The Cornet by Mark Chirag here. Such a high-pitched contrast to this dark tune. Oh. I like that drop of the guitars. Everything really coming together. I love the careful kind of addition of each instrument. Oh yeah, Bruford. Incredible drumming there, rattling away. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I love the overdubbing of those vocals as they come down. Super like evil kind of prog, reminding me of like, I don't know if this is a bold assessment, but it kind of reminds me of Tool in its tone. Oh, everything coming together here. You know, you got, I feel like every instrument we've heard that was originally passing off one another has all come together almost like a storm of sound. Incredible track. I think about brotherhood, maybe the loss of family and street crime. Am I correct in guessing that? A very dark listen so far. Let's go right into One More Red Nightmare. I gotta say, Fallen Angel, I liked it more than Red. I loved the vocals, especially. I thought it does feel very, very metal-esque. Let's go into One More Red Nightmare, which, with a name like that, I'm expecting a continuation of this evil tune. Oh my god, does it sound evil already? What happened to the sense of whimsy from the early King Crimson? Oh, a lot of stylistic shifts. I don't know what it is, but vocally, sounds very Bowie-esque. I'm trying to remember which album in particular. Something maybe like Scary Monsters or something vocally. So it's got a plane crash, perhaps. That seems to be where we're going with this track, narratively speaking. Oh, I like this. Those claps. Love the sound of them. Love the sort of like echo on them. Kind of upbeat, kind of fun, but also still sounding twisted. I don't know what it is. This also kind of reminded me of almost like Iron Maiden-esque, I would say. Like, narratively speaking, the sense of grandiosity to it. Oh, here comes a sax. Ian McDonald on the alto. Love how dense these arrangements are. Yet still so rough in production. Just like the rough sort of guitars, the kind of distantness of the drums really adds to this very like just disturbed tone that they're going for on this record. Very metal-esque. Vocally also kind of reminds me of like Lennon for some reason. Even though a bit of Paul McCartney. Maybe that's just the accents coming through. Oh, I think he was just asleep. Perhaps on a plane? Or asleep on a bus. Kind of shifts the tone away in a little bit. I love those arpeggios. Oh, those sax. Oh. And that's it. Just a stark cutoff. Like, just so abrupt. I like that one. I think narratively, I think that one was really, again, very horror-esque. Like, we were on a plane throughout that ride, descending, gonna crash, and it seems that our protagonist was just having a nightmare, which is a little bizarre. I feel like that the ending is a very different twist than I expected, but still, it felt like we were on a plane crash waiting to happen with the way it was like just such a evil sounding descent in the madness. Let's go into Providence. 8 minutes long. We're working our way up to the big one, which will be the final track, of course. And this one seems to be another instrumental. I like this. A little bit more of a classical tune. A sense of sorrow. tension and fear in this playing. David Cross, it seems to be on the violin, I believe. Not to be mixed up with famous comedian, chipmunk hater, David Cross, of course. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Calm down with those strings there, David. Strong, tense atmosphere in this one. Like a horror movie. They could definitely score a horror movie, I believe, if they wanted to. Oh my goodness. What happened to Fripp when making Red here? Did he lose his mind? Who hurt this man? Oh my goodness. This is like a better version of Moonchild. Considering how sporadic it is, yet all very intentionally building upon this atmosphere. I like this one quite a bit, surprisingly. This album just feels like it's getting darker and darker. Definitely teasing prog metal quite heavily, I would say, on this record too. A good kind of like proto prog metal album. Oh yeah. Picking up a bit. Bruford just giving us a slight groove to hold on to. Oh. Oh yeah. Picking up now. Getting to the thick of it. Fripp's guitar just ringing out. Turning up the ampage. Definitely playing with feedback a lot more in this album than I feel like I've ever heard King Crimson get onto. You know, jumping on that early kind of noise rock bandwagon. Getting quite noisy and dense now. Oh my goodness. Really sneaks up on you. A lot of genres being played with throughout this album, which we'll touch on at the end. Oh. Just teasing a kind of like noise rock focus. A plethora of genres being tackled throughout this album. And I wonder if Starless will continue to play with these elements. This is the big one. This is the one that I think most people speak of when they talk about this album. After all, it does have 8.7 million streams, which is more than double the second highest, which is the opening track, which I think says a lot. Clearly, Starless is the highlight. I'm excited to check it out. It is 12 and a half minutes long. Let's see how Starless, often by some people's standards, one of the best songs ever written. Does it really truly deserve the hype? A really great sense of just like rich atmosphere throughout this LP. And it's certainly continuing on to this one here with this opener. I like Fripp's gentle addition here. I like the kind of jazzier elements to come in here. John Wetton, great vocalist so far. I love the sound of like desperation in his voice. Oh, is it like maybe a track about death? I don't know, the smile signals emptiness for me. To me, alludes to like a personification of death. But I could be incorrect. This kind of feels like that kind of majestic nature of their earlier albums. But still with its very dark, moody atmosphere of red. Belts it out. Now our vocalist disappears into the background. We focus on the instrumental, it seems. Oh. What was that? Is that the uncredited double bass? Maybe one of the keys? I don't know. Whatever, it sounded so sinister. I love the slow kind of pacing of this one. I don't know if that's a guitar or a key, but whatever it is. It's really been carrying on this tension. Oh. Oh. Come on, Bruford. Slide in with your drums. Man. This tension's got me on the edge of my seat. Like, it's so infectious. Oh my goodness. Is it gonna release? Where's that drop? Oh. Oh, it shifted over. Oh my god, we're getting noisier here. Certainly, I would say, just as much a prog album as it is a metal album. Oh. What the? Where are we going with this? I'm loving this deviation. Losing some of that atmosphere. It's still building up. Oh. We're like into jazz now? Oh my goodness. This is like almost like jazz fusion-esque. This is insane. Bruford. So rapid. I love the jazzy elements that we've dived into. Like I said, this album flying across genres. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's bring it on home. It's such a soaring instrumental. So electrifying. Like a roller coaster. Descent. Oh. One last hurrah. Oh my god, so angelic in this passage. We're like ascending now to the heavens. Wow. Incredibly well-paced track, too. 12 minutes flew by, I think, because of the kind of amount of deviations and detours we've taken. And that does it for Red overall, the LP by King Crimson. What a finale to end it on. I gotta say, a 39, 40-minute record, however you want to look at it. Great sense of pacing. Only 5 tracks, but those tracks give you more than enough material to hold on to. More than enough to divulge in. The amount of genres that is stretched across the board here. Like I said, you get some jazz elements. You got prog rock. You got kind of early prog metal, I would say. Just heavy metal in general. You also have a touch of noise rock with the sort of feedback of the amps being used quite extensively on a couple of these tracks. Kind of reminded me of something that, Lou Reed was doing at the time. There's so much going on here conceptually and genre-wise that it's so mesmerizing and breathtaking and just bold. I didn't expect such a sinister, evil sound from this album. To be completely honest, when I saw the cover, for years I've seen this cover, I always considered this album, I thought this was going to be a more stripped back version of King Crimson, but it was anything but. I really thought that, what they were doing with their earlier records, such as In the Court of the Crimson King or In the Wake of Poseidon, I thought those kind of LPs were already so, grand in their goal. But Red is grand in a different way. It's really grand in atmosphere and just like the sinister vibes that they created here. It's certainly not the more laid back album I was expecting. Starless, though, insane outro, though. Really just takes everything I feel like they did on the first 4 tracks and wraps it all up into one package. It really just feels like a culmination of ideas. Not much more to say. This is an incredible record. It is super powerful, super evil in tone, some great songwriting. I liked Fallen Angel and One More Red Nightmare quite a bit. I think Fallen Angel is so depressing and harrowing, whereas One Red Nightmare continues with the, again, very on an evil roller coaster ride tone that this album carries on. And Starless like just like a peak of all those ideas. I think A Conversation with Death is the kind of concept that that track seems to go for. You know, it seems like our protagonist is at his demise, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, instrumentally at least, and vocally, fantastic track and closer. And an incredible album. But that does it for Red by King Crimson. So, that's it for the video today. If you liked the video, please hit like, subscribe to follow along in listening to more rock albums as we continue with ROCKTOBER. Like I said, throughout October, we're going to be listening to various rock albums. Any rock albums I have not heard, I will be reacting to on this channel. Now, again, it is hard to recommend a rock album because there's a plethora of rock albums I've never checked out. But, you know, I'm going to try to find some rock albums that are interesting to you guys and something that I've been wanting to check out for a while. Speaking of albums that I've never checked out and I've wanted to check out for a while, we're going to check out, for our next album reaction, Steely Dan's Asia, an album that I've heard many great things about. So if you're interested in seeing my reaction to Asia by Steely Dan, go ahead and subscribe. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.